What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the 2-minute warning. It's your boy RE. Here to talk about fake fights, real fights. You know, your boy's on the road right now. As you can see, I'm in the car, training, lifting, and fucking. Y'all know how we do it. So just to get it out there, I'm going to cover both events from this weekend. I'm not talking about the Lamar Odom fight. Jesus. But Social Gloves, it was alright. But 263 first. I gotta say, with Nate Diaz, this is my first video. I'm gonna have plenty of them coming. But Nate Diaz, the problem with him is, first off, let me get this off my chest. He's a superstar. I love Nate Diaz. But the fact is, this always happens. The guy complains it's only 3 rounds. He gets 5 rounds, and he waits to the 5th round, and he goes off on his flurry. I know it's fighting, and he caught Leon, but then he mocked him, and he didn't try to get that finish until 10 seconds later, letting Leon recover. It can't be the last minute or last-minute submission attempt like against McGregor, and then claiming victory. It can't always be like, oh, I won the fight, I won the war. No, you didn't. Look at your face. I know you're a prime guy to be cut all the time, but Leon clearly won that fight in a street fight, in an MMA fight. It doesn't matter. You might have got closer to finishing him, but still, Leon won that fight. So it's just another loss on your record, which you're not getting closer to winning that title. I know it might not matter to you, but at this point, you're just a guy to put in entertaining fights. Now, here's where my beef is. The UFC, in my opinion, sometimes is horrible at matchmaking. If you have a Nate Diaz, you need to put him against the most exciting fighters that are going to stand and bang. And that's where I think a catch weight, maybe it doesn't do anything for Justin, but maybe if you throw enough money at him, it does. Justin Gaethje, Nate Diaz. Obviously, we tried to do the Dustin Poirier, Nate Diaz. You guys are following where I'm going with this. Guys that are going to have entertaining fights. Maybe guys that are going to talk a little bit of shit and try to get in Nate's head. And we go from there. Leon Edwards was such a stupid matchup to put for Nate Diaz, especially when you're trying to get Nate a win. Look at Nate versus Pettis. That was the perfect matchup, and look what Nate did. Obviously, you always have Nate Jorge down the road. Do you always have it? Well, I guess both of them are kind of in no man's land. But how much interest is it in that fight? Because Jorge is clearly going to dominate. You can't keep getting dominated for 4 rounds and then show up in 1 round or get cut and claim that you won. At a certain point, you're gonna have to win, and that's why I said he was the most overrated superstar. I love him, and I love the fact I have to have this take. But overall, the UFC matchmaking a lot of times is bullshit, especially when it comes to young stars. You know, there's been so many young stars out there. The one guy they did it right with was Conor McGregor. And they even risked that when they had the Chad Mendes fight with a wrestler. If you have a great striker, pair him up with strikers in the beginning. Just do it. Down the road, when the wrestling gets a little bit better, slowly build them up. Slowly build them up. I know boxing has been terrible with that. You don't have to do a boxing style where it's 15 fights. But give somebody 5 fights. I think Bellator does it a little bit better, but it could be a little bit of a step up from what Bellator does. You know, at least the fights are competitive, and the fighter has a risk of losing, as in like Justin Gaethje, Nate Diaz would have been perfect tonight. A slugfest. So my opinion is, you know, if you have a guy like Nate Diaz, you need to get a striker that's going in there for the kill, and that's the kind of fight you need to basically book for Nate Diaz. For Leon Edwards, obviously you want a top contender that, obviously Leon Edwards, this is a win-win because now he might be getting that title shot. But a Leon Edwards, maybe like a Stephen Thompson, is the kind of guy he should fight. I have to look back at his record. Leon bores me, honestly. I thought Jorge Masvidal was the fight to make because you have that built-in rivalry. I don't know why the UFC didn't take advantage of that. Again, UFC matchmaking is shit. Let's throw Izzy up to 205 against a guy with no personality that's going to bring no heat to the fight and lay on him for 5 rounds and try to ruin another one of our superstars. Let's badmouth John Jones and make him look afraid to go up to heavyweight. Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense. Next, they're going to be saying Moreno's not really a Mexican. Doesn't make sense. Are they ever going to put him in Mexico for a fight? Are they ever going to put Conor McGregor in Ireland for a fight? What are they thinking? Why didn't they have Michael Bisping defend a title? Or I guess they did, finally. There was one where, a British fighter went and defended a title in Britain. But you look at Anthony Joshua, he's always in Britain defending that title. And I understand Las Vegas is a big market for people to travel. But I mean, a lot of these fights, like when GSP went to Canada, it was off the chain. So the UFC matchmaking and the way they go about a lot of things doesn't make sense, and it's going to be interesting. I will be having videos on the Moreno fight. I will be having videos on the Israel fight. Israel, I wish he could have got a finish, but it is what it is. Entertaining card overall. I gotta say, I was kind of enthralled and distracted by the social gloves just from hatred of a lot of those kids. And I was upset and very happy by the main event. I'll be breaking that down too. I am on vacation though, y'all. I'm building this channel up, like I said. Videos coming either tonight or tomorrow. Let's go. Peace, world.